Assalamu alaikum students. So in today's general anatomy lecture, we will discuss the naming of skeletal muscles. Now, as you have joined the first year MBBS and you have started studying the gross anatomy and especially the anatomy of upper limb, so you come across various muscles and you find it very difficult to understand the muscles or to understand their pronunciation or to understand their meaning. So this is the lecture by which you can understand that how the skeletal muscles are named. So the naming of skeletal muscles, now the muscles, they differ from each other in their shape and size and in their attachments, positions and actions. So all these features singly or in combination have been used to name muscles. Now the muscle of name can indicate the direction of muscle fibers, the muscle fascicles. The muscle name can indicate its location, and the muscle name is indicating its size. So also the number of origin of the muscle, the number of heads of origin of the muscle uh, also is depicted in the name of the muscle, in naming of the muscle, and shape of the muscle. So this is very important. Many muscles are named according to their shape. Then the origin insertion. Now this is very interesting, that the muscles, they are named according to the bones which they are, from which they are arising, parts of the bones or the bones from which they are arising. And in the last, the muscles are named according to their actions. Okay, so muscles are named according to the direction of muscle fibers. Now, these are usually the abdominal muscles. There are four abdominal muscles. The rectus abdominis, you can see here this one, the straight muscle, also known as the ab muscle, ab muscles, the abs you make when you build your body, and the transversus abdominis, the innermost muscles in the abdominal wall, the transversus abdominis. Here you can see the transversus abdominis, this one. The fibers are lying transversely, and then the oblique, diagonal to the midline, oblique running fibers, oblique direction of fibers. Here you can see the external oblique because it is lying externally, and the internal oblique, you can see the fibers internal oblique here. So four muscles, the rectus abdominis, rectus means parallel to the midline, abdominis means related to abdomen, and transverse means perpendicular to the midline, transversus abdominis, so it is lying in the abdomen and in the transverse direction. And then the oblique muscles, internal oblique and the external oblique. Internal means it is lying internally, while external oblique means it is lying externally. So muscles can be named according to the location or the position. So examples are tibialis anterior. So as the name is indicating, the position is in front of the tibia. Tibialis anterior, anterior to the tibia. So this muscle is located in the leg, anterior to the tibial bone, in the anterior compartment of the leg. Now the two muscles which are located in the forearm, here you can see the humerus bone, the radius and the ulna, and this is the part of the forearm and the hand. So two muscles, flexor digitorum superficialis and flexor digitorum profundus. So superficialis is the superficial muscle, while profundus means deep. So profundus is lying deeply. Both are flexing the digits. So flexor digitorum superficialis and flexor digitorum profundus. Profundus means deep, superficialis means lying superficially. So again, this is the region of head. You can see here a muscle which is known as occipitofrontalis muscle. So this has got two bellies, the frontal belly and the occipital belly. The frontal belly is lying near the frontal bone, while the occipital belly is lying near the occipital bone. So hence they are named according to the structure near which they are found. Now, muscles are named according to the size of the muscle. So, relative size of the muscle, maximus means largest. So, example is gluteus maximus muscle. This is the muscle of gluteal region. Here you can see where the intramuscular injection is given in the buttock region, and here you can see that this is a very large muscle. So this is located in the gluteal region, and so it is named as gluteus maximus, while a muscle underlying this muscle is of medium size and it is labeled as gluteus medius. Another muscle which is present here, not shown in this picture, is the gluteus minimus. So minimus means smallest. Again, the longest means longest. Example is fibularis longus. Brevis means short. Fibularis brevis. These muscles are located in the leg, lateral compartment of the leg. And the tertius. Tertius means shortest. So fibularis tertius. Tertius means shortest. So muscles are named according to their size also. So skeletal muscles are named according to the relative shape of the muscle. So deltoid means triangular, triangular in shape. You can see here triangular in shape. This is the deltoid muscle, and this you can see here triangular in shape. Trapezius, now trapezoid shape having two parallel sides. One pair is the one two sides out of the four sides, they are parallel. So this is trapezoid shape here. So these are parallel, these are not parallel. So these sides are parallel. So trapezoid shape. Now the rhomboid shape, rhomboideus means rhomboid shape. Here you can see, you are familiar with this muscle, the rhomboid major and the rhomboid minor. You can see this is with unequal sides, quadrilateral muscle but unequal length. Here you can see this length is more, this length is less. So quadrilateral muscle with unequal lengths. So serratus means sawtooth, like this. So you are familiar with the serratus anterior muscle. You can see here sawtooth like muscle appearance, serratus anterior, so it is lying anteriorly. So there is another muscle, the serratus posterior muscle. The serratus posterior superior muscle and the serratus posterior inferior muscle. These are lying on the back and again sawtooth appearance, and these are the muscles which are related to the respiratory movements. You will study these muscles in the region of thorax. So teres means round. So teres minor and teres major. So these are the muscles you are familiar with and you have studied them, teres major and teres minor. These are the rounded muscles, and a larger one and a smaller one, so named accordingly. And here again a muscle in the forearm which is known as pronator teres. It is rounded muscle and it is causing pronation. So pronation is the movement of the forearm and hand, and this muscle is causing this movement and it is a rounded muscle. So the name is given pronator teres. So muscles are named according to their origin and insertion, and best example is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. You can see here that it is taking origin from the sternum and the clavicle, sternocleido, and attached to the mastoid bone. So all the attachments are included in the name of the muscle, in naming the muscle. Sternocleidomastoid. Cleido is the clavicle. Cleidomastoid muscle. So again another muscle which is given the name by its origin and insertion is the iliocostalis muscle. So this muscle is related to the back, and this is the part of the back muscles, and it is rising from the ilium, and it is attached to the ilium of the hip bone and costal and the ribs, they are attached to the ribs. So this the name given is iliocostalis muscle. So muscles are named according to their actions. For example, flexor carpi radialis. Now in this there are two components. For example, the flexor carpi means this flexes the joint, flexes the wrist joint, and radialis means that they are located near the radial side. Extensor carpi ulnaris means extend the wrist joint, and it is located near the ulnar bone. Abductor, now according to the action, they are named according to the action. Abductor pollicis longus. So abductor means it abducts, move away. Pollicis means pertaining to the thumb, and longus means it's the longest muscle. Adductor longus, so it moves towards the midline, and adductor longus, it's the long muscle. Levator, so it elevates the scapula. Depressor labii inferioris. So depressor means it produces downward movement. Labii means labial fold near the mouth, and inferioris means inferiorly. So it depresses the angle of the mouth inferiorly. Supinator, so turn the palm upward or anteriorly, and pronator, turn the palm downwards or posteriorly. So pronator teres, you know It's a rounded muscle. Pronator teres, a rounded muscle which produces movement of pronation. I hope you understood the topic. Now the assignment. Now how these muscles of pectoral region are named. So you have to write down the muscles of pectoral region, how these are named. Then the latissimus dorsi muscle. This is a muscle which is present at the back, large muscle. So how this muscle is named as latissimus dorsi? What is the meaning of latissimus dorsi? Thank you.